Ethan's mornings were quiet, in the way old photographs are quiet. Still, faded, and a little lonely. He opened the town's post office every day at 7:30 sharp, rain or shine. The sound of the keys jingling in his hand was the only greeting he ever heard. He liked routine. It made life predictable. Coffee, old radio songs, sorting mail, stamping envelopes, everything in order, everything in its place. He was 52, living alone in a small apartment above the grocery store. He never married again after his wife and son passed away years ago. The post office was his last little piece of purpose. That morning was like any other, until a small voice said, "Excuse me, sir. I need to send a letter." He looked up. A little girl stood at the counter, no taller than the drawer behind him. She had dark hair tied in a purple ribbon, slightly crooked, and a serious expression that didn't fit her age. "Sure," Ethan said. "Where to?" She slid an envelope forward. It said in big, uneven letters, "To Mom in Heaven." Ethan froze for a moment. "Oh, that's special address," he said. "She'll get it," the girl said confidently, "if you send it right." Ethan smiled faintly. "I'll do my best." He gave her a stamp with stars on it. "For the sky," he said. She'd handed him 2 coins and waited for her receipt like an adult. "What's your name?" he asked. "Maya," she said. "And you're the postman." "I suppose I am," he said, amused. "Nice to meet you, Maya." She nodded seriously. "I'll come next Wednesday, too. Mom likes Wednesdays." Then she left, skipping a little, leaving behind a trace of hope that smelled faintly of rain and crayons. Ethan stood staring at the letter for a long while. Then quietly he placed it on his desk. He knew it would never go anywhere, but somehow he couldn't throw it away. He whispered, "Handled with care," and placed it in the drawer beside his heart. Maya came every Wednesday, always with a new letter, sometimes with a drawing or a flower pressed inside. He helped her pick stamps, stars, birds, flowers. She liked the ones with light. He began to look forward to Wednesdays. She told him about school, about Grace, her guardian, and about how her mother used to sing while baking cookies. She never cried when she talked about her mom. She just smiled in that brave way children do when they don't understand the full meaning of loss. One day she asked, "Do you think letters reach heaven?" Ethan thought about it. He said, "I think love has its own kind of postman." She giggled. "Then you're one of them." He laughed, but that night he couldn't sleep. He thought about his own son, how he'd once promised to teach him to ride a bike on next weekend. There'd never been a next weekend. The following Wednesday, Maya came in with a scrape on her knee and a new letter. "This one's important," she said. "I asked Mom to send me a dream so I know she's okay." Ethan nodded solemnly. "I'll make sure it gets there." When she left, you sat looking at the envelope. The handwriting was shaky, full of love. He opened his desk drawer and found a blank piece of paper. Without thinking, he wrote, "Dear Maya, I got your letter. The dream might come soon. You're brave, and I'm proud of you. Love, Mom." He stared at what he had done, ashamed and comforted at the same time. Then he folded it and placed it into an envelope. The next week, he slipped it into Maya's mailbox before dawn. For a while, everything seemed lighter. Maya came in smiling, telling Ethan that her mom wrote back. She said she's proud of me, Maya said. She said the stars are really bright up there. Ethan's throat tightened. That sounds like her, he whispered. Grace, however, looked worried. She's been dreaming more, she told Ethan quietly one afternoon. Talking to her mom at night. I don't know if this helps her or hurts her. Ethan wanted to tell the truth, that it was him, that he only wanted to ease the child's pain, but the words wouldn't come. Then one rainy evening, Maya didn't show up, nor the next day, nor the next. He waited until Friday before walking to the small house Grace rented. The curtains were drawn, the air smelled like wet earth and lavender. Grace opened the door, eyes red. She's with its social worker, she said tiredly. They're moving her to another town. Why? He asked. She found out about the letters, Grace whispered. She saw one in the den. She knows someone here wrote them. Ethan's chest felt hollow. She thinks I lied. Grace looked at him for a long time. Did you? He couldn't answer. She trusted you, Grace said softly. Don't you see? You were the one bit of sunlight she had left. And then she closed the door. That night, Ethan stayed in the post office long after midnight. He opened the drawer and took out every letter Maya had written. He read them all again, one by one. Each word was a heartbeat, each sentence a prayer. And at the bottom of the first letter, so fake you almost missed it, he saw a printed mark. Lincoln Children's Recovery Center. A hospital. He whispered the name again, a chill crawling up his spine. Linton. He remembered that name. He'd seen it once before, on an old police report. And for the first time in years, Ethan prayed. Not for himself, but for the chance to make something right before it was too late. 2 days passed. Rain fell endlessly, heavy and cold, the kind that soaks through everything. Streets, roofs, and memories. Ethan drove out of town, following the address printed faintly at the bottom of Maya's first letter. Linton Children's Recovery Center. The road curved uphill towards a quiet brick building surrounded by pine trees. Inside, the air smelled of antiseptic and old stories. A young nurse looked up as Ethan entered, water dripping from his coat. Can I help you, sir? He hesitated. I'm looking for someone. Lena Linton? The nurse's expression softened. Oh, Mrs. Linton. She was one of our longest patients. Was? The nurse's smile faded. She passed away last spring, after almost 8 years in a coma. Ethan froze for a moment. 8 years? That was the same year his wife and son had died. The night of the storm, the accident, the headlights, the screeching tires. He swallowed hard. She had a daughter, didn't she? Yes, the nurse said gently. A sweet girl, Maya. Mrs. Linton talked about her all the time before she went into the coma. Ethan's voice trembled. Do you remember where the accident happened? The nurse flipped through the file. Highway 17 near Woodmere Bridge. The other drivers survived. Ethan felt his knees weaken. Highway 17. Woodmere Bridge. That was his accident. He was the other driver. And the woman in the other car, the one who never woke up, was Maya's mother. That night, the rain grew hotter. Ethan sat alone in the dim post office, dripping, wet, trembling from more than cold. He opened a drawer where Maya's letters lay, small envelopes filled with love, pain, and impossible hope. He read them all again, his eyes blurring, and then he began to write. Dear Maya, there's something I must tell you. Years ago, I was driving the other car in the accident that took your mother away. I lived. She didn't. Since that day, I carried the weight of it inside me. I didn't know the letters you sent would find their way to me. I didn't know they would make me